Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and welcome to the 14th episode of the Chalky Hazard podcast with my usual co-hosts Sugar-Free Nos.
Howdy, howdy.
And RDT. He just waves. So everyone who's listening to this as an audio version just had silence there. I'm expecting him to say like, hello, hi. No, it's just
never changes every week.
Okay, I'll have to take that into account.
I usually stick to howdy myself. Same character.
We have an interesting guest tonight. He has been a subscriber of mine for, I believe it's over 2 years now. I think he's in fact I think he's an OG subscriber from the day that I got partnered. He's been around our community for a long time, and as we always say, this is a community stream, a community podcast. That's why we've got the chat there on the side of the screen. Our guest today is A2DaJ. Welcome.
Long time listener, first time caller.
That's later in the show. That's later.
Resident drunk uncle.
He has been set free. He has been set free for everybody who free free AJ.
Yeah. I'm sure this will go well.
The picture on the screen, that is AJ, A2DaJ.
That is a in-progress photo of a man drowning.
That's not just an image. That's actually a webcam.
That's how I show up at work.
That's how you get ladies before Tinder. That's how you do that.
Yeah, that
and
is.
To swipe right on the sequence.
Can you give us some background on this picture? Because I mean, that's interesting. It is an interesting picture.
So that picture is actually from what? I think it was 7th grade. Anyway,
what year would that be?
Great. Now I gotta do math.
You old man.
For those of us who aren't in America, what's 7th grade? What age is that?
It's probably like 12,
probably
13.
Like 12, 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're about right. Maybe 11 if you're like a little younger.
So that's like 50 years ago.
I know I was 12 and 13 in 8th grade, I think.
Anyway. MC Hammer, like hip hop was super coming into and break dancing and hip hop dancing, so I joined a dance studio, and that's actually we had to go perform, and that's from a picture from that performance. I actually made out with two or three of those girls.
Well, which ones? I mean, you got to tell us which ones now.
Come on, I gotta rate your work here.
The low hanging fruit on the right there was
that's
in high school.
Mean.
No, she's great. Actually, she's still friends with me on Facebook. So I actually just talked to her that she's married with kids.
Really? Okay.
And the one directly below me, I think her mom ran the studio.
Let's just say that she was directly below you in another situation.
Hey-oh! Yeah. And then I think the one to the far right.
You think?
Man, it's so long
This
ago.
is setting the tone right now.
I can tell these were meaningful situations that you found yourself
in. Not at all.
This is setting the tone right now for how this podcast is probably going to go. It's been 14 weeks, and A2DaJ's wanted to get on this for a while. Some of you may know him from the series that it has on GTA Men's channel. Obviously, GTA Men's been a guest as well on the podcast a number of weeks ago.
Friend of the show. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Friend of the show.
There you go. That's how you put that. Friend of the show.
A2DaJ has a series on that channel. What's it officially called? It's a
Story Time with AJ.
Story Time with AJ. It's like life experiences. AJ giving his life experiences, his stories that he's had in his life, and some of it's quite interesting. I listened to one or two of them. I still need to actually go back and watch all of them, but the latest one in particular,
I think it's a life lesson for everybody.
They are pretty funny.
If they are funny, and if you don't mind some level of inappropriateness with your YouTube videos.
Viewer discretion is advised.
And maybe that accounts for this podcast as well, but
viewer discretion is
not to that level at least. But
we'll find out.
We'll see.
I'll keep it PG-13.
And we're gonna talk generally about life experiences and things like that in this podcast. That's going to be the general topic. I guess. the donation sounds. I forgot to turn off the donation sounds, and we got a donation saying donate from donation sounds with the $1. At least you remember to turn me off this week. God damn it.
No, when AJ's around, everything is turned on, even your donation sounds. I think
Especially me. I'm especially turned on when AJ's around.
Thank you for the donation, whoever that was. But yeah, A2DaJ, how old are you?
I'm 40.
40.
So I'm like old as
In dog years, maybe.
Right.
Jeez.
I think I have hair that's older than some people.
That makes you the oldest guest we've had, I think, right?
Does it?
I think
I
so.
guess so.
I can't
Because
think off the
Sarch
top of my
is
head.
in,
Sarch
like,
is on
his
40.
Sarch is 57.
So like we've got 3 young people who are, you know, we don't know anything about life right now, let's be honest.
No.
I'm 27, RDT, you're 20?
2.
22, and Nos is 20.
No, just 2.
No,
No,
I'm
yeah,
just
22.
20, yes.
Yeah, that was, so I got that. Yeah, okay, so Nos is the little baby of the
Yeah,
of the
I'm-
group.
Oh, babyface Nos.
Only
But,
I can make baby jokes about myself. You can't do that.
Oh yeah,
This
I'm
will make
obviously
your
I'm
husband-
aged a lot, or I have aged a lot in the last few streams because everybody wishes me happy birthday for some reason. Still,
You'll probably age about 10 years after this one.
yeah. But
A few more grey
A2DaJ
hairs.
has you know a lot more life experience than we do, and a lot of interesting stories. Maybe we can learn from him during the course of this podcast. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping I can have some life lessons.
Well, here, this will spin your mind around, right? I have a stepdaughter who is 26 and has a child, so I'm actually a 40-year-old grandfather. I'm imparting my views and my
Wow, okay.
wisdom on a younger generation.
Okay.
Yes.
So your stepdaughter is 1 year younger than
Yeah.
me, but already
Yeah.
is. I need to get a move on.
No.
Oh,
No children.
Probably-
You don't want children. You don't want children.
Well,
you
you
don't
should
want pets. You
probably
don't want
involve
anything
Zerks in
tied
that
down.
conversation.
I would caution you there. Trying's the most fun. Trying to have a child would be the most fun. Actually, having one is a lot of responsibility.
so we'll just practice.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Make a
I didn't expect you to jump on this so quickly, bro.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Well,
He's
yeah,
letting his
maybe.
hair down.
Okay, I should. Maybe I'll forget that I'm actually doing this. I'm trying to have a professional level of myself, and I'll just descend into Hartlepool,
professionalism.
bruv.
Can we just talk about professionalism for a second?
Sure.
Why not?
In prep for this, I'd like to kind of know what I'm doing.
no.
So my first reach out was to my good friend, my confidant, RDT here, and I sent him a DM and asked him, "What are we going to be talking about? What do you guys want to do?"
All
Let
the
me know.
answers.
Yeah, and his basic response was, "I don't know. We'll talk about it in the pre-chat thing that we do 30 minutes before the show. Don't worry about it. It'll be cool." Like, what? So I had to get a hold of Hammer to actually get an idea of A, what chat thing I need to use to get on here, and B, what the hell we were actually going to talk about. So,
Well, I mean,
hashtag
I didn't know
professional stream.
I didn't know what we were going to be talking about like 5 minutes before we started, and
No.
we just wing it. We just talk about
Yeah.
we might have a
Well,
general.
that's perfect. That's the way I've done my whole life.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Chat cannot have a vote on baby names. That is not happening. No,
I think they should.
I think that's a terrible idea.
You'd end up with a baby named Lamar or something. Like,
I know.
Or
Oh,
like
Ross.
Pikachu, like something, an inanimate object from the stream, like chair.
God,
Chair
no.
two.
Share.
Jesus,
Sure, yeah,
yeah, there's no way. Fred,
Fair
I know.
Junior.
George Frederick.
That's my dog's name, Fred.
Is it really?
Yeah, he's 15.
Wow, okay. What
Oh.
type? What
He's
breed?
he's a mixed breed between a Jack Russell and a Shih Tzu. He's gonna be 16 if he lives until October.
So he's a jack shit.
Well,
He's a
if he
jack
lives,
shit.
goodness, is the dog on his deathbed? Is poor
Oh,
Fred not doing
almost
well?
definitely.
Oh, I
No, he's
feels
fine. He's fine.
bad. Oh, okay. Hey,
Kind of.
thank
I
God.
have 2 dogs. No, that's not a joke either. I have 2 dogs.
So I mean, like I said, we don't really no plan of. We were going to talk about life experiences, but how do we even go into a life experience topic of conversation? We could talk about education. Like that's a life experience because A levels have just the results for A level exams in the UK have gone out today or yesterday or whenever it was. So a lot of those are the things that you get just before you go to uni, and you need to do well in those to be able to get your place at university.
So like in the US, we have SATs and ACTs, right? That would be kind of the same thing.
Yeah. You basically need to. It seems like every level of education is just to get you to the next level of education.
Why?
That's
You
all
really
it
have
is.
a bad thing. Like your timeline of things is really off. I don't know how you look at life, but it's like you're saying that sequels to games are, oh, the game before that really built on this game. Like, yes, that's how it works. And education it's a scaling process. You're gonna be
no. But what I mean is
the
like
purpose of parents is that they're gonna have kids. That's
no.
It's just a little version of them. It's like
What I mean is that like once you've gone to the next level of education, then the previous level just means nothing. Like if you leave school at 16 years old, the qualifications that you have there maybe get you a job. Won't be as good of a job as you could get if you carried on. But then when you go to say that college in the UK, where you 17 and 18 years old, you get your A levels. At that point, your GCSEs don't mean anything. That's the one at 16. So if you go and try to get a job, all they look at is your A levels. They won't look at your GCSEs. And then when you go to uni, you use your A levels to get into uni, and then they don't mean anything after that. They don't mean anything for a job. If once you've got a degree, that's it. But like, that all right, fine. I don't know what point I'm trying to make. It made sense in my head.
Well, I think, like, I agree with you. One of the reasons I was disenfranchised with math, actually, I was going to be an electrical engineer.
Okay.
So, the reason why I got disenfranchised with math was because you kept learning something and they told you the next course was going to be where it was really at. So calculus led to differential equations, and everything in calculus was based on differential equations. I'm like, well, just teach me differential equations first. I don't understand why we got to go through this whole rigmarole.
I think in education there's a lot of stuff that it's just not teaching you about life stuff. Don't fall asleep.
Oh man, got me. Oof. This is riveting.
Education does a very bad job at teaching you life skills, like taxes. They don't do a very good job at that.
No,
like,
I know what the Pythagorean
things that you
theorem
might
is.
actually need for a job. It seems like you get your qualifications, and then you have to do training to do whatever job that you choose. Like, just go straight into the training. Like,
Right.
True. I
But
guess.
then you don't have the fun experience of college. I mean, college was so fun. I went back twice.
coming on to the fun experience of college, and you guys in America say college, right? Whereas we say university. Is that the same level that we're talking about to get a degree?
Yes.
Yeah.
You go to
Yeah.
college, you go to a university, I guess.
Okay.
It's because professors use schools as a soapbox because they failed in the real world. I like that. Project.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like that.
It's
Yeah,
like they
safe
say,
space.
those who can't do teach, and those who can't teach teach physical education.
Yeah, that's true. Come on then, A2DaJ, give us a college story. Why
Well,
not?
so my journey was a little different, right? I just struggled through high school. I was pretty decent at math, and you're supposed to take your SATs or ACTs and get into college. I said, forget that. I wasn't going to take no tests. So I went to community college first, got around that, and got accepted to University of Arizona. But what I didn't, yeah. What I didn't realize,
Wow, RDT.
well, what I didn't realize is that U of A is like probably one of the top party schools in the nation.
It's
So,
like the
yeah.
Is it really?
So
Is that what it's known for?
yeah.
Okay.
It's like a
I've heard of
98%
that,
acceptance
actually.
rate or something.
Yeah, well, ASU is really easy to get into, but U of A
Oh
is
yeah,
far behind.
Arizona State.
But so what you have is, because in Arizona, right, you got to remember it's in the desert. So in the summertime, you don't even want to be there. It's like 110 for 115 for like 4 or 5 months. But during the school year, it's like 70, 80 degrees year round with, like maybe like 2 months worth of rain. And when I mean rain, it rains for like an hour. That's it. So you have, and out-of-state tuition, you got to pay a different price if you are in-state residents or out-of-state residents. But the out-of-state residents price is about probably less than what like East Coast schools charge for in-state. So what you have is a bunch of people from around the country, mostly women, coming from California, New York, Chicago, the East Coast, and they're all super beautiful. And you have a high concentration of beautiful people with sunshine and like probably like a 2-to-1 ratio of girls to guys at this school. So that's what I walked into at 20 something.
Damn,
You're really
like
giving the hard
my
sell
friend.
here. I mean, that's not going to take much to persuade people.
Bro, you going to college again here soon? You're getting a degree.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing. I've done the masters. I'm thinking of doing a PhD actually. So in Arizona, so I've always found something good about Arizona.
It's a wonderful state.
This is the part where Liz comes in and just smacks you on the back of the head.
Yeah, this is true.
Hypothetical single bruh would go to college now.
Well, and I don't know how anybody graduates. I'll be honest. I mean, because if you, like things are inexpensive, like beer, women, things, living.
Women.
It's like also
Inexpensive.
inexpensive. It's also you're right there next to the Mexican border, so I mean, like you can go to Mexico and drink when you're 16, 17, 18. They don't
So basically,
care.
everybody goes to university and doesn't do any work.
I didn't. I barely made the class. I mean, I flunked out and I held it together enough to get like a couple B's and C's and hold it together for like a year.
What's your degree in again? From
Well, I was originally
Arizona?
going for. Well, I didn't graduate from Arizona,
okay.
but I
Okay,
went for an
see.
electrical engineering degree, and then I flunked out and I delivered pizzas and did like construction work for 10 years, and then I went back to school and got an accounting degree.
But
So I'm actually
what university did you go back to?
Portland State University in Oregon.
And how did that compare?
It was a much different experience. I mean, it was fun. I mean, I think college is fun for anybody, right? You learn things, you like get to interact with other people from other places. But that time when I went back to university for a real degree and I was there for a reason, I was much more like buckled down. Plus, I was like had a steady girlfriend and eventually got married while I was in college. So,
Yeah,
I mean, there was drinking and fun, and I had a bunch of fun, but it was like a more single-minded focus of getting a degree at that point. And
yeah, that's fair. What's put in the chat there? College at 30 is business. That is true. Like if you're doing it at that age, it's a different story.
And also, too, the colleges were different. So the University of Arizona has a very young student population, and then Portland State has a very like diverse age range. It's like a very like there's old people. There was people older than me for sure there, like in their 50s and 60s. What they were doing at college, I have no idea. But
I mean, maybe once you get to a certain age, you've got nothing else left to do. So let's go get another degree. Why not?
yeah, I guess spend some of our money.
So, AJ's been to college. RDT, you have just finished college, right?
Yeah, man, my college days seems like just a few months ago that I was still in college.
And how was your experience? How was your college experience?
You know, it was fun. There's a lot of work, a lot of partying and whatnot. I have some stories that don't match up to AJ's at all, but you know, I got to be a little careful with how I present myself online as a youngin. AJ's set in his
Which
career.
we talked about last week. Go watch the last week of the Choking Hazard podcast where we talk about presenting yourself online.
Well, I mean, we can talk about that. I mean, because, well, as you guys probably know, I don't give two shits about like how I represent myself online. So it's definitely different from, I guess, like what Broughy has to do, where he has like an online persona or like basically a business to run, and you have to represent yourself in a certain way.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I don't want to make myself look bad online, I guess, but you know, if you don't have any qualms about that, then that's fine.
But anyway, how was RDT's experience in
Oh,
college?
sorry. Sorry.
It was good. It was a good one. You know, I started at a different university than I finished because the one I was going to originally was a little close to home, and I wanted to be in Philadelphia because I love that city. It's a great city. I think one of the lower key stories I have involve my sophomore year smuggling in a keg of beer with one of my buddies into my dorm room and saving. In Philadelphia, we have squirrels that are black, and that's not a race thing. That's not a race thing. That's just they are the color black. And there was one just laying in the street, and so we had been working on this keg, and we saw it laying there, and we were like, we're going to make this squirrel our pet. And so we just brought it inside.
Oh, my goodness.
And put it in a box and gave it some peanuts and some beer. It lived until the morning, and then we let it go when we found it frozen to death.
Oh, God.
That's something like the most heartwarming story I've heard in a long time.
That's
It was like a regular Disney movie.
Like, I guess the squirrel had gotten hit by a car or something?
I think it might have been trying to chew through electric wire and then kind of got zapped.
So basically, you staved off Darwinism for a night.
Trying to steal cable or something.
Feels bad.
So where I live. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Nos, you have any? What's your educational?
No, I'm extremely boring. I have no stories. I was homeschooled through high school, so that was awful. That's awful. Don't homeschool your children. Don't. Just don't.
No.
It was awful. Like, I'll tell you, sitting at home doing your 2 hours of work and playing some video games the rest of the day is appealing for maybe 6 months, and then you start to get lonely, and then you become very, very sad. So, I mean, if I didn't have the internet by that point, I think I would have went insane. So
when you start having feelings for your teacher, you know. It's not good.
RDT, keep it to cousins. We've been over this. I keep it to cousin.
No, that I mean, I can't even like understand or imagine the whole idea of homeschooling. Like, I can't wrap my head around what that would be like. Because
well, I homeschool. I'll tell you why I homeschooled. I never really talk about my real life at all, so I guess we could do that.
Well, that's what the podcast is for. This is about.
I guess so. But anyway, so throughout grade school, I went to the same school pretty much the whole time, and because I was always the smarter kid. I mean, which in Alabama is not very hard when you're an average man in a room full of morons. You know, you're a smart guy.
Don't sell yourself short.
So, thank you, RDT. I love you too. But anyway, so through grade school, the principal there always held me to a higher standard, if that makes any sense. And I was still a dumb kid doing dumb kid things, right? So, like, when I would get in trouble from some dumb stuff and get sent to the office, any normal kid would, it'd be detention or whatever, like normal, or at lunchtime you'd have to sit by yourself. But no, that was not the case with me. I got written up for some pretty stupid stuff going to what's called alternative school, which is that's where the bad kids go. Like if you shank a guy in the locker room, you go to alternative school, right? and like a bunch of high schoolers there. Not a fun place.
Jesus.
Like, for instance, I'll give you one scenario. I think this was like 5th grade, maybe 3rd grade, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was 5th. There's a kid who was in trouble sitting at the front of the room, like in the corner of the room, and I was sitting there, and the teacher had her back turned, and this guy, like, we were kind of friends, but not really. He found like a piece of fuzz, right, like some kind of like whatever, and he ran over and he put it in my hair. It's like, okay. So I took it out of my hair. I ran over and put it in his because I'm a dumb kid and I do dumb kid things. Office. And guess where I went for that? Guess. I'll give you 3 guesses and it starts with A. So.
Yeah, we know.
Like just stupid stuff like that. And what really did it was, looking back on it now, I really do regret it. And it was bullying, what I did. But me and a couple friends were were basically picking on this girl, and we were calling her sexy, right? That was the idea.
So mean to call her sexy, my God.
I know. But it was dumb kids doing dumb kid things. And I was acting like a foolish child, and we got written up for that, and that was a Class 3 sexual harassment offense.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was gonna go. They were going to expel me, basically, for that. This principal was going to try to expel me for that. So my mother took me out of school, and I homeschooled from 3 months into 8th grade. This was 3 months into the year that this happened. 3 months.
Jesus.
All the way to the end of high school. So that was my experience in school. And like throughout school, like I would have good years where the teacher was a reasonable human being that I liked, and years where the teacher was just not great, right? Yeah. So, like for instance, I'll give you another not a sex offender. No.
Wow.
I'll give you another example of how twisted this was. So in 4th grade, I was being bullied relentlessly by this kid. Relentlessly. And I'm talking like the type of bullying you see like in these bullying biopics where kids like I wasn't going to kill myself.
What's up, nerd? And then they shove you in a locker like that.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that. Like physical bullying too during 4th grade. And like it's not like I was on the verge of suicide. I don't want to make it sound like it was worse than it was, but I was depressed. Like I wouldn't talk, I wouldn't do anything, and I finally opened up to my mother about it. And this is actually pretty personal. I don't know why I'm talking about this.
What was this kid's first name?
Just first name. It's all right now. This
Matt.
Is a safe place.
His name was Matt, and he had a dumb last name that was the name of a shark, and he's a douchebag. But anyway,
Matt. He's not gonna podcast now. He doesn't, he hasn't got worldwide fame and acclaim on his Twitch channel.
Yeah, exactly. He's probably some meth head in a trailer somewhere.
Working on cars.
Matt Megalodon. I like that.
Yeah. But anyway, continuing with the tale of sadness, I finally opened up to my mother about it, and she had to go confront the principal and my teacher at the time. My teacher was a moron coach, basically. Like he was a coach, he taught history, he was my homeroom teacher, and my mother finally confronted him about it, like, hey, he's getting bullied, you need to do something about this. So what does this douchebag principal and dickhead teacher do? They start asking my mother questions about where I stay when she's gone, and who's keeping me, and maybe someone is possibly molesting me. That is where they went with this. That there was no possible way that me being depressed was because some douche was bullying me.
Wow.
It is not their fault. It has to be something that serious and that big. And so instead of dealing with the problem and handling bullying, they try to do that.
Jesus.
So, and that
I can understand why your parents decided to homeschool you at this point. Like, I imagine the homeschooling wasn't great, and I can't imagine it being the nicest thing.
This was 4th grade. I stayed in this school for 4 years after this garbage.
You're like 9 years old.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's
with all this backstory, I feel like, props to you, Nos. You turned out all right. You're safe basis here.
Yeah. I mean,
well, and you mentioned parents. That's something else to me. I've mentioned it a couple times before, but I am the son of a single mother as well.
Yeah.
So that makes things exponentially tougher in some situations. So yeah, my school life was not good, and I really wish. I wish I grew up faster and didn't call that girl sexy, so I could went to high school. That's kind of that's probably my biggest regret, because
you didn't miss much in high school. High school is just a mess.
I missed the mess, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I feel like the mess of high school is possibly something that can determine like who you are in some respect. To some degree, and missing out on that is something that I did not want to do. I mean, I know that high school's meh, but it's a meh thing that I would rather have experienced other than sitting at home and playing video games all day.
In comparison to, homeschooling.
Because it is lonely, man. Like, you really, like, sitting at home by yourself really sounds appealing until about 2 months in. Yeah. And then you realize that you have no one to talk to, and... Like,
it makes sense, of course.
It's awful.
The difference, I always talk about the difference between high school and college is high school is like your first kiss. It's like sloppy and wet and nobody knows what they're doing. And it's just kind of awful, And then college is like when you get it all figured out and like a long makeout session. That's like,
It's funny. I mean, Remo asked for my story next. I don't know how this has turned onto a story about our experiences during education.
Well, that's pretty much my biggest life story.
Yeah, I guess it's naturally with us all being the age that we are. Life experiences for us have been at this point education and then a little bit of normal life. So I guess it naturally would go to that, but. I don't have any good stories for anything, to be honest. Like
I said I didn't, and look what I pulled out of mine. So
yeah, I suppose. But I mean,
that's funny that you say that, Nos, that you were raised by a single mother, because my father passed when I was 8. So around the same time you were going, same age that you were going through all that stuff, we kind of had simultaneous.
Yeah, that's got to be.
Obviously, we're not the same age.
I would rather be in my situation than yours in that regard. I would rather never have a father than lose mine at 8.
Deep.
Yeah, we got pretty deep real fast. But,
sorry to hear that.
Thanks, AJ.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, RDT. That's terrible, man.
Funnily enough, I was raised by a single mother too.
And now we're all on a podcast together.
This is
the most successful podcast in the world.
Yeah.
So far.
Wow,
we need a group hug or something.
I know, jeez. Everyone needs to go to TwitchCon. I'm sick of this. Everyone go to TwitchCon and we can do a group hug. And then you can all leave again.
Wild.
Anyway,
wet and wild. AJ, tell us about that time you stabbed a hooker. Why don't we
why don't we lighten this up a little bit?
Why don't we lighten it up?
By stabbing hookers.
I wanted to continue on RDT's topic, man.
Don't worry, guys. It was a funny stabbing.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I got my money back.
Oh my
GTA
god!
taught me one thing. No.
This podcast got way too real, Jesus, and real talk. I appreciate you guys sharing with us. Maybe we should do a bit more of that in the future. Get a bit more real. I feel like we've maybe done too much of it right now. Like,
we went 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah, we did.
I was hunting ghosts. Then I came back and I hear that Nos was like a sex criminal, apparently, according to Alabama State.
An 8th grade sex criminal over here.
Oh my god! I missed a span of 2 minutes.
I feel like that's not a hard bar to hurdle over in Bama.
Really.
Yeah, my education's nothing special, to be honest. I actually thought secondary school or high school, as it was more fun and interesting than university was. I didn't really enjoy university that much, at least for the first one. So I don't really have any. I'm not exactly.
You don't have any good stories. So the only good story is the one that Tony told about you guys riding on a bike together.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That's like the highlight of the college.
That's
career.
pretty much highlight of no, that was high school back then. But
yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much the highlight of the entirety of my educational life. As hard as it may be to believe, I'm not the partying type.
Whoa.
Hey,
as hard as that is to believe, I know. I know you can't believe it.
Episode.
Next, you're going to be telling me that I'm not the partying type. It's
all right. Let's not get crazy here, Nos.
How many times did you get expelled for being late? I was never late. I only ever, in terms of me doing bad things, I only ever got sent out of the classroom once. I only ever got told off once in the whole of education.
Oh,
wow.
What was it for? It was Tony's fault. It was, of course, it was Tony's fault.
Yeah, right.
The blame on the others.
Tony
already.
did something. We need to get Tony on a podcast at some point as well.
I want
Tony did something in the class, and it just had me bad laughing, and I couldn't stop. And I got sent out for laughing. It was late. It was Tony's fault. It was all his fault.
I would kick you out of a classroom too if I heard that laugh coming across this giant
I was
About,
really
thinking
handle
about
it.
the tension and being suspended. I have really good handwriting. In fact, a lot of people think I have girls' handwriting. And
Oh,
so,
really?
well, I used to use it to my
yeah.
advantage. I'd leave love notes on my friends' cars and dot the I's with hearts. Be like, oh my God. But I'd leave the number for like Domino's Pizza or something and then call it and like. But the way I have such good penmanship is my mom and dad were really cool actually. So you never got in trouble for anything you did outside the house. You only got in trouble for doing stuff bad in the house. So let the punishment fit the crime. So if you got in trouble at school, then whatever the punishment at school was, that was the punishment. You didn't get grounded at home too. So there was never any reason to hide like detention slips or anything like that. The problem is they were both gone in the morning. My mom would walk the dog early in the morning. My dad was in the military, so he would go to work early.
Sounds like some good parenting, by the way. Might I throw in?
Well,
Sounds
were you
like,
the, were you the
Sounds
kid
like
from my story?
although
Yeah.
with all the stuff you did, maybe I don't know. I'm not one.
So I would have these permission and detention slips because I got in trouble in school a lot because I'm me. And so, what I did is I took my mom's first I took my dad's driver's license, and his signature was way too hard to replicate. So I took my mom's, and I'm like, I think I can do that. And so I practiced her signature.
Forgery, yes.
Yeah, I started at a young age with forgery, and so I
An
would
American tradition.
practice her signature. And then I showed her. I was like, "Look, I can sign your name," and she's like, "That's great. Now I don't have to remember to sign all your permission and detention slips."
So she essentially gave you permission to do that.
Yeah, to
By
this
not-
day, actually,
yeah.
I did her taxes for her, and I needed her to sign, like the release form to email him. She's like, "Can't you just sign my
Wait, this
signature?"
I think this is a federal crime. Let's
Probably
back up.
shouldn't.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't mention that one.
No, I
nothing
think I
happened.
can. It's a federal form. You have to
That was
sign
a-
it.
That was a
yeah.
joke.
Oh, okay. Saved it here. Okay.
You saved it.
And no, my forgery
you
days
took
are
it to
over.
her. Yeah, you took it to her and she signed it, and
Yeah.
everything was fine.
If you guys would have listened to the story time with AJ, I actually have a forgery episode in there.
Okay. The story time
That's
with
something to
AJ
look
there,
for.
go watch
Yeah.
it. Maybe
Yeah,
we
go
should
watch
leave
it.
it.
Have
Maybe
a-
we should
have a
leave
laugh.
instead of linking your Twitter in the description. Maybe we should
Yeah, I
leave a
think
link
you
to
should just
that.
link that
to
playlist,
that
yeah.
To the
playlist.
playlist. Yeah.
So
Um,
somehow GTA Man is getting promoted again.
So yeah, GTM gets the views.
He's a,
Well,
he's a
he
good
doesn't
guy.
get any
He
ad
should.
revenue off of that. I guarantee it. None of that is advertiser friendly. I guarantee.
It's funny. We did look at the analytics one because I was like, how much are you actually getting? Are these getting struck? And so what I found is if I say like the F word early in the episode, that it gets immediately struck. So I wait to curse now until we're about halfway through the episode.
So you're gaming the system. I see.
Nice.
I actually had some videos recently that it doesn't tell you when this happens, but it popped up like this is not advertiser friendly. Last week's podcast came up as not advertiser friendly and didn't get monetized. Like it was
Really?
all about positivity. I'm pretty sure we didn't swear at any point during the podcast. Like we
Thank
never
you,
swear.
YouTube.
I never
I
swear
did a
on my
lot.
videos. I try to keep it as professional as possible. Like it's insane what it picks up. And it's
It's crazy.
It's when things like that happen on YouTube and you see ad revenue going down or videos not being monetized for various stupid reasons because of the system or whatever, content ID and things like that. It's because of
bunch of
things like
nonsense.
that I'm glad that I also do Twitch. And
You need to only do Twitch and just abandon YouTube. Everyone needs to abandon YouTube. It's a garbage site. I mean, wait a minute. YouTube is a great platform for video content.
Well, I felt so bad on this last one because the last episode is about masturbating with jalapenos, and so I just had to give them $5. Here's the lost ad revenue.
It was
Thanks.
yeah, how many views are you gonna
What did
get?
you just say? God.
What?
If you'd listen to the episodes, RDT.
Yeah, I actually did listen to that one.
Some
That
guys
was
like it hot, some guys like it mild. That's just the way.
And I like it spicy, right on the tip.
Yeah, if this episode gets monetized on YouTube,
And your positivity one is not.
Then yeah, then
it's
something's wrong somewhere. There's no way this is getting monetized.
No way.
At least nobody watches it, so we're only losing on like $1 or something. That's probably all it is.
Yeah, luckily no one watches this garbage.
I'll pick back up the donations. I'll hide the credit card statements from the wife.
Do you have any advice, A2DaJ? We've been talking about, college and education. RDT's just finished his degree, and Nos is doing something as well.
I'm doing that. I'm riding on your coattails and hoping it works. It's not working.
Do an MCET
so we're gonna have to come up with something soon.
And I'm I guess well into this now of YouTube.
Yeah, you're
stuff,
a professional content creator now. You need to get some business
that's got
cards
nothing to do
push
with my degrees or anything, but I guess they help in some way. But you have more life experience than we do. Got any advice?
Yeah,
for us and all the younger
So,
people listening.
I think one of the things that I've always lived by is if you have a chance to do something, by God, fucking do it. I've had so many amazing experiences just because I'm so fluid and just sure, I'll do that. It's also got me in a lot of trouble, but if you can take a calculated risk, and I think I don't think a lot of people would be exposed to the same kind of danger or dumb stuff I did. But if you have an opportunity to do something, go somewhere, be with somebody or do something, I would just say do it. All that stuff piles up. And the other thing too is I think I've made it. I wasn't a very good student in high school, but my buddy was getting an electrical engineering degree, and I thought, well, how hard can that be? I'll do it. And I think that's kind of the attitude I've used through life is I see other people do it. If they can do it, I can do it. Nothing's that hard. Even if you want to be a rocket scientist, you just got to put in the time and effort and be interested in it enough to be able to do it. So I think that's, if you could take a main takeaway from all my dumb stuff, it's probably just anybody can do anything. I've struggled around for 20 years doing God knows what. And I was able to turn it around and go back and get a degree and be successful. Or,
it's never too late, basically.
No, it's never too late that you want to do. And I think, and I wouldn't change any of it, right? Looking back on it, I've had such an amazing, it feels like I've lived 3 or 4 lives, I've been all around the world. I lived in Japan. I lived on the East Coast, West Coast, Mexico. I've been all over. So, and it was all just because let's do it. Why not?
I've heard of that before, that whole, someone decided to answer every yes or no question with a yes for a year or something and see where it took him. And it got him into a lot of trouble, but he went amazing places and did amazing things. If you are open to things and that's the way to live life and experience life, really.
The
one thing I was going to say...
Really terrible...
What?
I believe that was a really terrible Jim Carrey movie where he can only say yes.
Wasn't it? It was based off a true story. I read about the true story that someone actually did that.
Yeah, well,
I'm pretty sure someone actually did that. Anyway, I was going to mention don't see don't have limitations on yourself because you didn't necessarily do perfectly in school or things like that. It's not, life isn't all about what you do at school and being good at book learning and exams and things like that. You gotta just find something that you're actually interested in doing and just pursue it. And you can, like AJ says, you can do anything really. I think.
Yeah.
It's just...
I also want to say that in my school, I was Tommy Boy basically. I was in school for 8 or 10 years or whatever, all said. And the people that get A's and ace the classes, aren't necessarily know the material and aren't necessarily the smartest people in the class. They're just the people that can cram that information in and regurgitate it quickly.
Yeah.
The people that are like maybe B and C students that really try and are interested, those are the ones that retain information and are actually like smart about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the test scores won't reflect that.
I mean, that's pretty similar to
the
me.
real world.
I mean, the one, I guess I can give a little bit of a story of how my education went, and that comes into what you've just said. I was very, very good at school. I was able to get A's, A stars, top grades in maths and physics and all this stuff. Yeah, I was a nerd. I was a nerd, yes. And I went to university, to one of the best universities in the UK, to do mathematics, which is a very difficult degree to get into. And I did it because I was good at maths. I didn't do it because I enjoyed maths. And when I got to it, I hated it. And I realized that if you're going to be doing something in life, you've got to be passionate about it, enjoying it. Which uni? It was Durham Uni. But you've got to be passionate about it. You've got to enjoy it. You've got to enjoy what you're doing, because it can only get you so far to be good at exams, to be good at passing tests. And that's what I was good at. I was good at being able to learn what I needed to learn effectively, and I was good at being able to execute it in an exam very well, or write an essay for it or something like that. When it came to the actual knowledge of the subject, and obviously when you go to a top university to study mathematics, you have to know your stuff, and they throw the stuff at you so quickly, and you have to be willing to put the work in outside of lectures, go to the library and do a lot of hours outside of it as well. And I just wasn't willing to do that. I'd gone through the entirety of school and college being able to just take what the teacher had told me and be able to do the homework that they'd set, and then I'd be okay. And then as soon as it gets to the point where you actually have to put in your own effort into it, it has to be something that you enjoy. And I just didn't. I mean, I still passed the degree and then did another degree on something completely different, but it wasn't a pleasant experience, university, the first one, and the first time anyway, the first 3 years. So be careful with your decisions in life. There's no rush. You don't have to, as soon as you finish college, immediately go to university and make a decision about what you want to do for the rest of your life. I didn't know what I wanted to do even after university. So yeah, just be open to things, and don't necessarily follow the path that everyone else is telling you to follow.
And I think I can echo that. Like, I think I have a lot of friends that, like, it's fun to look back on my life and like have the funny stories and all the crazy shit I've done. But I think a lot of people then, like, if they look back and they regret, man, I wish I would have done that, or man, I wish I would have done. So like, you only get one run through, and you're only young once. So like, try to experience and do as much as you can in a safe way. But I mean, you don't need to go ape shit like me. But
everybody's different. But at least be open at some stage to do something.
Yeah, you never know what you're missing out on,
Yeah.
I've tried to do more of that, I've got to say, in the past year, going outside. I've tried. I've finally gotten tired of being alone all the time, so finally decided to go outside and do things. It's been okay. It's been all right.
It's a great game. The graphics are good, too.
I don't know about that. Maybe I need glasses.
I've been like that as well.
TwitchCon.
More recently. Yeah, TwitchCon. That's
you
something.
Get over to TwitchCon, Sugar Free.
You got like $4,000 for me to get over there? I need food, I need a hotel room, I need airfare.
We'll talk offline.
We're doing our road trip. Remember?
Or RDT can come get me. We'll go on a road trip.
Yeah, that's true. Don't wait too long as well.
And
document it. Fett puts in the chat. But I've been more open to things like that. With the recent thing that I was going to be doing, and I opened myself up to potentially going to Barcelona for this poker event that I was going to get involved in. That isn't happening anymore, unfortunately. But in maybe this time last year, I probably would have said
I was wondering where that went. It just kind of poof disappeared.
Yeah,
so.
It didn't. I explained it on the stream the other day, but
oh, did you?
It did. Yeah, it's unfortunately not happening anymore. But this time last year, I probably would have said, that's too much. I'm not able to do stuff like that. There's no way, and there's no reason why not. There would have been no reason why not. So
yeah.
You got to be open to being able to do things, and just take life as it comes, and do what you want to do, and do what you enjoy in life. Having said that, I've still got plenty of life left, hopefully. So I don't know. Maybe my thoughts will change in like another 27 years, and I'll be like, "Oh, that was terrible advice." But A2DaJ,
finding what you enjoy is hard too.
Yeah, that is
Finding
true.
a
Yeah,
true
it is. It's
passion,
tough. Yeah,
that is difficult. Like, how do you know? It's very hard to just separate what you like from your passion. You know. Like,
Well, and when you start doing something for a job too, it gets old, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, like when I was younger, if you asked me in high school what I want to be, I would have told you a porn star. But now, I don't think that's a good idea, because you get tired of whatever you do. You get tired of whatever you do, right?
Male porn stars aren't paid as well as female porn stars either.
Well, but think about you having to go to work and you're like, oh, one more threesome. I can't take it anymore. If I gotta be with like 8 chicks today, this is gonna be the worst.
The old 9 to 5 or the 6 to 9, if you ask me.
Gotta go grind it out, 6 to 9 today. Yeah, no, you gotta find something that you can put up with day in and day out.
Yeah, that's true. And in the chat, Jaded Fett says, "Do what you can put up with to allow you to do what you like." That's another way to do it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There's our hopefully helpful life experience advice. Maybe it'll help somebody. Who knows?
Maybe. You never know. If it helps one person, we have done a good job.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
hopefully somebody driving to work is inspired
exactly.
to this podcast.
Take that exit. Take that exit to the nearest city. Do it. Abandon your job and your family.
Your life.
Just head west.
Speaking of doing something that you enjoy, I'm potentially bringing something back and working on something that I would really like to do, and I've been wanting to do for a long time.
So you're doing the rap battle finally? Is that what you're?
Here it is. We made it 52 minutes in. 52 minutes in until the rap battle mentioned. Congratulations, AJ, on yourself.
I am surprised it took him that long, to be honest.
I thought it was gonna be the first word out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Rap battle.
And it's A2DaJ rap battle.
Should I start beatboxing now? RDT throws on the
It's
hook and
coming,
do it
all right?
now?
It's coming. I'm working on it. It'll be all right. Let me say, before September's out, I'm gonna get that rap battle on the channel. There, I've said it.
We're putting it in stone.
It's gonna be done. The video will be live before the end of September. That's what I'm gonna say.
So on October 1st, whenever this does not happen, do we get to ridicule you?
Yeah.
I'm unsubbing.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I've got a big window. I've still got a month and a half.
Yeah.
So,
It's gonna be like September 30th, 11:59 Pacific Standard Time, so he could still say that it was technically the end of September.
yeah, I didn't say which year.
This is true.
Yep.
No, but there is something that like I've always wanted to do, and in previous years I would have been like, there's no way I can do something like that. That's not something that I can. I'm not able to do something like that. But I'm gonna work on it, and maybe we'll. I'm hopeful that we'll make something out of it, and obviously you guys will see what happens. It's gonna be a while away yet, but you'll know it when it happens. You'll know it. You'll know the video when it comes out. It's the return of something.
I hope it's the return of subscriber lobbies.
Maybe some real life racing, perhaps.
We do subscriber lobbies like every stream now.
Every day.
Every day is subscriber lobbies. Those old subscriber lobbies were really good though. I'm gonna say that. The OG ones when I had like I could barely fit. My first subscriber lobby, I struggled to get 6 people in it. Like.
And all their game sound was in the video, and it was like awful, and like it was just you guys racing and.
Yeah.
Well, that was the fault of consoles and TVs and overly sensitive microphones.
Those old GTA Online live videos. I recommend people going back and watching the old Gen GTA stuff. If they
They're so
haven't seen it.
cringeworthy and awesome.
You had your 100th loss. I remember that.
Yeah, is that in one? Oh yeah, that is in one of the videos. Yeah.
That's
was
back
great.
when you actually used to play the game and you'd wait for Tony to come in and you'd be sniping people in free roam,
yeah, when it was still
Yeah.
fresh.
driving an LRG.
Yeah, the original orange and black elegy.
Yes, yes.
All right, should we move on to our regular segments?
I
Sure.
suppose so. We got pretty deep, and now we're
Yeah.
climbing back out of the hole we dug. So
Let's get back in the gutter. Let's.
Right, well, we'll do choke of the week.
let's talk
Um,
about our biggest regrets in life. No, okay. Taking it right on into the choke of the week.
I just wish someone held me when I was younger. Choke of the week.
I didn't tell that girl that I liked her in 8th grade, and it's such a regret. Anyway.
Oh, that's one thing. Everyone always says this, but I've never taken this advice for myself. But the older that I get, the more that I am. You always regret the things that you didn't do, and not the things that you did do. That's something
Yes.
that people always say, and it's true.
Well, most of the time, unless you like lose
I
a
don't know about
limb
that.
or your eyesight, or
Yeah,
How I feel
unless
about
yeah,
threesome.
yeah. Okay, all right, okay. There are exceptions to that. All right. So Choking Hazard podcast choke of the week, and we actually have a screen with all of our faces on it as well.
Oh no.
I'll let you guys know when I start playing these. All right, I'm gonna start playing now.
we've got the new car, unbelievable new car. On some
It's the best
circuit.
new car.
Yeah, it is the
China.
best actually. You are correct. It is the best.
Oh,
It's the
that's a pole.
Pull up the
bigliest.
pole.
Oh
That's a
no.
pole. That's and I mean that is out of the lead. That's
Well, since his racing career is in the gutter, maybe he can start a career as a stripper with that quality pole dancing there.
Hey ho.
you know that was actually Wondersniff's clip, who is female. So
Oh, now,
Okay.
see the sexual harasser back at it again. Never change.
You
Never
I
learn
never
enough.
change.
never regret the things you don't do, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
man,
my
okay,
God.
that did not go well for the new roller. The
No,
Nero
it did
custom
not.
right
Curb
there. That
boosting
was the
scum
curb
bullets.
boosting. And then
this,
we're on
we have
to.
a
We'll
racing
play these again. This is loud. This is.
So this is Rain Effects, the video game, if you didn't know, Drive Club. That's all it's good for. And, we're coming into what is the final turn here soon.
Is this game still relevant?
No, this game is not relevant. But
Lap
it's here
3
anyway.
of 3.
Did that curb boost give an effect?
Hopefully.
Lap
Probably.
3 of 3, last corner, first out of 10th, first out of 10, first position.
It seems as though we are experiencing understeer.
that is, and then then some significant oversteer,
Grass oversteer. And
Yeah.
now look, all the pack.
and
Literally
and then
everyone
we'll spin
else.
around again.
Oh.
Yeah, just for good measure,
Yeah,
because he must have
yeah.
traction control off. What a shame. What a
Big
shame.
Drive Club great again.
Let's watch these all through again. If you're listening to this, go to about 58 minutes into the podcast, and you'll be able to see these. Maybe 55, if you want to watch it on YouTube. And if you're in the chat right now on Twitch, you can vote for the choke that you like the best. Was it number 1, number 2, and
changing
number 3?
careers. Yeah,
Which
so
one
vote
is
on
your
choke.
choke of the week
I'm
this
just gonna
week?
come out and say it. There were chokes on all sides. All sides there were chokes, okay?
It's too soon. Too soon for those jokes. Too
Um,
soon. I'm still angry about it. Too soon.
Let's not bring politics into this podcast, please.
Exactly.
Wrong.
I mean, we've had proper chokes again this week, but
we
from
have.
first place every single time. We haven't seen the end of the races in the first 2. We only saw the end of the race in the last one. But at least we've had some proper chokes again. Being in first, messing up completely, and then losing.
It's some heavy choking. Heavy choking.
Do you guys have a favourite? Yes.
Yes.
You guys
Yes.
chosen
But
one?
I think we should wait until.
Yeah, we will. We'll wait till the.
I don't know
results
if I
come.
have a favorite, to be honest.
I'm not sure at the minute. I'm.
Get decisive.
I'm
Jesus.
indifferent on all sides today. I can't
Indifferent.
make it. Talking about it never being too late has made me very indecisive today. So, it can always wait. You never run out of time. We'll come back in 7 weeks and I'll give you an answer.
Is that so? This is basically we've ruined your entire motivation for life.
Yes, it's never too late, so why should I do anything?
That's not the point. That's not the message we're trying to give it all.
No. It is too late.
I took.
It can get too late. Don't leave it too long.
Yeah, not to wait.
Yeah.
I can wait.
So A2DaJ, whilst we're waiting for the results to come in, do you have are you enjoying being on the podcast? Has this been?
Yeah.
It seems like you've wanted to be on it, with the hashtag free AJ,
Free AJ.
basically starting a riot.
Creator. I always thought we were going to talk about more creator because I do run the GCC, the content creator crew for Xbox One.
Oh, you
So-
do?
Well, I mean, that would be impressive if anyone played on Xbox One. AJ,
Get
maybe.
out of here, Nas. Jesus. This guy's got me
Oh, yeah, we
triggered
got-
already. Don't make me come to Alabama and show you my skills.
We've got 2 of them in here today, so double the triggering.
Taking over.
Yeah, the majority, and I am like a third
frame
Xbox,
at a time.
so two thirds of us are Xbox.
2/3 of us. You're in the minority there, PC Master Race.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you've done some creators. So how is that going on the Xbox side?
I mean, I think it's good. I mean, I think you're ending the life cycle of GTA. So, and I think like creators far down on the list as far as like development goes. So I don't think we're going to see anything new. But I feel like a lot of the gripes that everybody has with GTA, like the racing community has gripes about car classes, that could easily be solved in Creator. You just make a custom car class and be able to put whatever cars you want in there. I mean, problem solved. I think, the free aim guys have a problem with, this free aim assist.
Yeah, that's some garbage. That's some hot garbage. I can't
allow us to lock to just free aim. Make a map that's just free aim.
It seems like the thing is with GTA, everything that is wrong with it could be fixed with more options in the creator, and it's only the creator that has kept the game alive for so long, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
most of the people who are playing it often enough, not just coming back for a day when there's a DLC or something, are here because the creator exists and it allows you to do amazing, wonderful things with it. And ironically, it's the thing that seems to get the least love and care and attention and improvement. Like we had it initially, and then we had to wait years until we had the cunning stunts improvements, and then it brings in every single DLC brings more bugs with the creator that people have issues with, and it never gets fixed.
Yes.
I mean, the game itself never gets fixed with bugs, but the creator doesn't make them any money, so that's why, obviously.
But I feel like it could though, right? Like these new vehicles, their time and their, it's grinding with an option to buy, right? Like so they're time locked and their money locked for everybody. But if they allowed to have it in creator and people were able to play around with them in the creator portion and have like maps set up around that, I think it would drive sales for those new vehicles.
That would do the opposite, surely. If people could use them in the creator, then they wouldn't.
Oh, this car is terrible. I don't like this. I'm not buying this.
Yeah, you could make your own things and do your own experiences. Yeah, with the cars in the creator, and then you wouldn't have to buy it.
Or watch Broughy1322 on YouTube for up-to-date track testing for all the vehicles in GTA 5 online. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can only speak from personal experience, right? I've bought many of things after I tried them out in Creator, and then I was like, okay, I think I would like that in my garage or stable of like.
Here in my garage.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I see what you're saying, right? Like, why buy the oppressor? Why spend $2 million for the oppressor when I can just, jump into a race or a capture or something with that vehicle?
Yeah. I think.
But I feel if you want to fully experience it, you probably should have it out to yourself.
Yeah, I think the customization of that is a big thing.
Well, the oppressor,
the fact that you can.
The oppressor isn't just a normal vehicle. It's the oppressor is a tool. Make no mistake, it is a tool. It makes.
Can we just say that the gun running DLC has been one of the worst DLCs for the entirety of for the goodness of the game? It's just.
have a
well,
winner?
free-roam
do we have a-
warriors would
yeah,
disagree.
we're getting off the topic now. Do we have a
I'm
winner
sitting
for
here
the
wondering what we're gonna find out
joke
who
of the
has the
week?
joke of
Yeah,
the
let's,
Yeah, we
My
should
bad.
probably go
My
back
bad.
into the show. By the way, if you have any questions for our
yeah.
panel here
Yeah.
today, we need you to get into the phone bank on Discord. That's open to Patreon supporters, subscribers, and regulars. So hop into Discord if you have any questions to ask for our questions and answers segment. MB Hammer will be right with you, and we'll get you in here to ask your question.
maybe your
on the,
questions can be
call-in.
about our life experiences. You know,
Yeah. I feel
like we
personal
need a morning
questions.
DJ voice.
We've opened up a lot on this podcast, so I mean,
Yeah, so you got any questions to ask me or AJ?
we do reserve
or
the
our
right to not answer them though.
Considering that we are interesting and Brough is not, you can ask us any questions. Or if you
Yeah,
have-
I could get a bit of a break and I can just sit back and listen.
So who do
I
we?
feel like every time we go to the phones here, we need Nas to have a radio voice.
Well, I try my best.
Do we have a winner, MB Hammer?
We do. We do.
Okay.
Hold on.
Should we
I
give
don't wanna hear it.
our thoughts
What do-
first?
What? Yeah. What do we? Nas. Who do you have voting? Who are you voting for? What am I trying to say? Jesus Christ.
I don't know. The
Wait,
Drive
where is
Club
it?
clip. How about the Drive Club clip? The last one. That's my vote. But I'm indifferent on all of them. I'm sorry. So I'll just pick the different one to be different because I want to be different.
I was gonna go with the Drive Club clip as well, because I think that was just like that was pretty much the most choke of the chokes.
Yeah, it was a proper racing choke. Like
It's
he
right
just
at the end of the
He
race.
went to the turn too fast and had some understeer. threw it
Funnily
all
enough,
Yeah.
I was also gonna say that one as well, the Drive Club clip.
Oh,
So,
okay. So I'm just like everyone else.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, I had number one because it was like an actual proper race. It looked like, and plus because Nas was so misogynistic and sexist toward her. I thought I should.
I know. I
Number
haven't
number
changed
two.
since 8th grade. I'll always be. I mean,
She
I need
did
to
say
be on
that
the
she
list.
won that race though. So
Yeah, she still managed to come back and win that race. So I don't know how
Oh.
much of a choke you can
All right,
count
I'll
that
change
to
it to
be.
3 then. I'll change it to 3.
There we go. Fantastic. Everyone.
She won the race. Sorry, John. My
She
bad.
only
once-
divulged that information after everybody had voted, though. That's
Yeah, right.
naughty.
And sorry for my my very offensive sexual abuse. Please don't kick me from the show. my sexism knows no bound. Look, I
To
was
be
born
fair,
this way.
That was before you
Okay.
knew she was a lady. So
Did you
That
assume
doesn't
her
matter.
gender?
It was still sexist and misogynistic.
Treat her
and
like
I'm
a-
a-
like
and
a
I'm
human,
a
man.
pig who needs to be expelled. So
okay.
anyway, sorry about that.
All right, who's
So
the
what-
actual winner?
Once again, our hosts have picked the same winner as our audience.
Look at
It's
that.
just like
our-
everybody else.
Our winner
We're
is
all the same.
Mr. Gil Viper.
Well done, Gear Viper.
Congratulations
You are
on
horrible.
playing a different game. Congratulations.
You
So bad.
you played a terrible
So
game,
bad.
and you were terrible at that terrible game. Well
Pretty
done.
awful.
Well
Absolutely awful.
get out, get out right now.
done. RDT, do you want to break the news to everybody? Because I'm not doing it.
I got places to go today, so there will be no apple juice minute. This
I'm just
week.
gonna sit back and wait for the chat to go mad. I'm just gonna sit and watch it happen.
For 20 seconds. You're gonna wait for this?
Yeah. It'll happen before then. See, that was like
Well, the A to the J's
A
here
to the J, but
with us.
yes. See, this is it's unacceptable. First the
Yeah, I agree.
whiteboard, then the apple juice minute.
I mean, I was thinking you could put like some iced tea and like make like you're drinking something.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna.
come on,
I'm not
you
gonna
could've-
fake it.
This is.
But I'm not
this
a
is all
hack.
fake.
I'm a drunk, not a hack.
See,
Okay.
not
haven't-
even
I
some
haven't-
actual apple juice.
Yeah. I've
Like,
I've
even-
restrained
Thought about it.
myself
Like, just
from
get
all the
a
nasty
cup of
curse words.
tap water and talk about how you
I thought
can
about
taste the
that too,
fluoride or something.
but-
Like,
Trust
Even though
me,
you can't
these are
taste
things that I've thought about. I'm not gonna bring you a subpar segment. All right, that's not in my nature.
Well, this is pretty subpar.
Yes, true.
yeah, this is subpar. I agree. We demand
feel like
the
it doesn't
hat
get
now.
much subpar
You're
than
not
this.
getting the hat either. All right, I don't have to make up for this man's shortcomings. You don't get the hat.
I mean, I
Oh.
could try to play the same game with A to the J, but it just wouldn't be the same.
What, hide the Nazi?
What's that?
What
Tiki
has
torches?
happened while I've been away?
How the tsunami? What?
I always come back in and the conversation has gone completely mental. What's that?
As Cuff says, ADT, it's okay. You're probably doing something very important, like some work for NASA or something. It has to be something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to prove that the Earth is actually flat. So.
See, I'm in a plane, and I can see out the plane. The Earth is flat, so it must be flat. I don't see anything it's not round.
Listen, don't be part of your round Earth conspiracies with your. I bet you're a round Earth shill.
I'm a globalist.
You're a shill. You're a shill for round Earth, aren't you?
I'm a filthy globalist.
Globals agenda.
If anybody watches the H3 podcast, you'll
Hillary Clinton is a lizard person.
I think RDG's driving to see Shaniqua this week.
Yeah, I'm driving, but I'm not driving to see Shaniqua. I should have never mentioned my love on the stream.
That's sexual chocolate.
And just misconnections and everything.
I'm going to say, so far, I'm very impressed with A2DaJ. From everything that I know about A2DaJ, from everything that I've seen and heard and experienced about A2DaJ, I'm pretty impressed that this has managed to stay relatively okay.
AJ for co-host is what you're saying? Permanent addition.
Hey.
I feel like if we give him too much leeway, it would eventually get...
It'll just evolve into just...
Story time with AJ, but podcast format.
Yeah. I'll save for all the really fun stuff for in person. Let's go.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Do we have any questions?
We do have some questions.
We do.
So, first question is from Mr. Nex Rex Gaming.
Hello, caller. You're on the Choking Hazard podcast, where I have not made up something to say this week, and it's a choke.
Spit it out.
Yeah, stuttering is a choke. Anyway, who's your question for? What's your question? Next, Rex.
My question is for every one of you. So basically, like, since you talked over life, what was a decision in your life that you made, what turned out at first as a choke or an issue or so, and then came back as a complete win?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
I don't know how to answer this.
So just in life, what we thought was a choke?
Initially, it was a choke, but in the long run, it was not a choke.
Does it have to be a choke, or could it just be what you thought was maybe the wrong decision, or there was a decision that you weren't sure about? Or...
Like, oh, that was a bad decision for me, and then like afterwards you're like, well, that was a good decision.
Yeah, that's an excellent question.
I got one.
All right.
So I was on my senior break, and this is actually won't be an episode now of story time, but I was on senior vacation. Like when you graduate high school in the U.S., you go on a trip basically. And so we went to Mexico, and I ended up getting kicked out of the entire country of Mexico for smoking cigarettes in my hotel room. Cigarettes are illegal in Mexico.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Really, they are? What? I've never heard this.
Nah, it was weed. All right, I got kicked out of it for smoking.
Well, you can say weed.
Quick on the up.
Jazz
Thank
cigarettes.
you for clarifying.
Jazz cigarettes. So anyway, at the time I was devastated. Right, I was only three days into my trip or whatever, but comes to turn out that there was actually a boating accident on the boat I was supposed to go on. So it was actually a blessing in disguise. Wow. Nobody died, but somebody was maimed. You know, they lost a finger.
Wow.
Which finger?
Okay. Jesus.
That's not really a decision. Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of ended up being...
I had to, right? Yeah.
All right.
So,
all right. Okay, so this was my last week of college, I guess. I was friends with this girl.
This is very recent.
It's very recent. I was friends with this girl, and we were friends throughout the year or whatever. And towards the end of the spring semester, we were hanging out at her place, and she brought me upstairs, and blah blah blah. And then she said, "All right, I think we should take it slow." And I was like, "All right, yeah, I whatever." I had no expectations about this whatsoever. And so
after she'd brought you upstairs.
Yeah. We fooled around a little bit, and then so the next week she invites me over. I'm like, is everything going all right? She's like, hey, come on over and we can drink, we can hang out, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm walking over to her place and I notice that I have a notification from Facebook on my phone from this kid who she had been kind of seeing. And so I was like, all right, well, this is going to go one of two ways. Either he's not happy with me, or we're just going to pretend like nothing happened and hang out like buddies. It was the former. He was not happy. He came up to me and approached me at her place and tried to fight me or whatever. I was like, no. And then she came outside. She was like, what's going on? What are you guys doing? He's like, I'm just talking to blah, blah, blah. And then she said, you want to tell your buddy why we broke up? I was like, I have no idea what's going on. She goes, I found gay porn on your computer. I was like, oh, okay. And they just yelled at each other and said terrible things to each other. And now they're back together. So I found out that she's crazy and avoided that. So that was a good decision.
Wow.
No, that was a joke that ended up ended up okay.
You dodged a bullet.
Yeah. Psycho.
What's his name, Matt?
Same guy. Yeah, same guy.
Wow, okay. Well done, RDT, on
They said
that
terrible things to each other. I can't even repeat them.
one. Really?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Good on the dodge.
Were there
Yeah.
homosexual slurs thrown in on her part?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Guaranteed? Yes.
Tons of them.
Jesus.
Maybe she's really into pegging dudes.
Could be.
Don't
Right.
Google that, kids. Don't Google that.
Yeah, don't get it.
Do you have one?
Name of
Nos?
the video? It was Broke Straight
I don't
Boys.
think I do, honestly. I've never really I've choked in life, absolutely, but it's never really turned out for the better. All of my chokes have just been straight up chokes. So, I've never gotten any benefit from my chokes. So, I don't think I have an answer.
Okay.
I mean, I have some chokes, but
I'm kind of the opposite with that. Like, I don't feel like my decisions have necessarily been bad decisions throughout life, or I've had any chokes that have, or if I've made a choke or a bad decision, it hasn't turned out good afterwards. But the only thing that I can really think of is, I'm pretty sure I've never told this before. Maybe I was planning to make this as a video or story at some point, the origins of how it all happened. But when I'd finished uni, actually even when I was going through uni, I used to play a game called Hat-Trick, football management game, soccer.
Yeah.
I've
that's
talked
where
about it
your
in
profile picture.
that's where my avatar is. Yeah, I made a video about that, one of the subscriber specials. But I was heavily involved in the game and heavily involved in the community. And my first ever time I went to Sweden was for a job interview with them, with Hat-Trick. I had an interview to be the community manager for the game, and obviously I was hugely involved in the game. And I was looking for that sort of thing to do really regarding communities, and I was doing that sort of thing just in a smaller community on the game itself. And I've always been that way in terms of internet games. So they had a community manager position going, and I
A2DaJ, mute yourself.
Sorry.
I applied for it. I wasn't 18 at that point. I was 22, I think. Like this wasn't this long ago. This was after uni, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And I was working at the karting track as well whilst I was doing that. But I flew over to Sweden, had the interview. They were ready to offer me a job. They were going to pay me, I think it was sort of £30,000 a year or something. So it was.
It's not bad.
It was a significant amount considering I didn't have a job. Apart from that, they were going to pay for me to actually, move over there and find a place and all this kind of stuff. But it was too much for me at that stage. I just wasn't feeling like it was a right decision for me to move to Sweden, in the south of Sweden, with nobody I knew, on my own, I just couldn't do it. I wasn't able to make that decision, so I turned it down, and I said I can't do it. I turned the job down, and for a long time afterwards, I kind of thought, was that a bad decision? Was that a bad life decision? Am I going to regret this years down the line? As it turns out, from a longer term perspective, me not taking that job allowed me to still continue working part-time at the track and build what I have now on YouTube. So from a long-term perspective, it was a good decision, but also from a short-term perspective, the company that owned the game actually went bust, and a lot of people, over half of the studio that were working on the game, lost their jobs. I would have been one of them. So I would have been in Sweden with probably, a contract on a place to rent for 6 months or a year or something still to run, and all these, making a big life decision to move to Sweden. And I would have had no job. I would have had no job, no income, no idea of what to do on my own in Sweden, and I would have been stranded. And so in the end, it turned out to be a very, very, very good decision, based on what could have happened. So you never know how life's going to work with things like that.
The only downside is I do hear there's hot Swedish Sweden. I don't know.
Well, I found one of those later on, so we're all good.
There you go.
Yeah, well, the money wasn't enough to warrant that big of a change either. Like I said, not bad to the pay, but that's coming from minimum wage, no education Alabama boy over here. So
I mean, I didn't have a well-paying job then. That was a lot of money anyway.
Yeah,
and
well, even then, to support rent and groceries and everything that would have. Yeah. I don't know if that would have been enough.
Yeah, but it's funny how things work out, and it was still something that I thought, is this a bad decision? But I just couldn't. You gotta follow your gut feeling about things, I think, and you know if something isn't right for you, and that ultimately wasn't as much as I thought it was. There was too much of a change, and it ended up being the right decision, because now here we are on YouTube doing this podcast on Twitch.
Yeah, getting $5 in ad revenue, if it is even ad friendly. We're you've really come up in the world. Yeah. Good decision.
All right, good questions next, Rex. Interesting.
Yeah, very good questions. Sorry I couldn't answer. All of my jokes are boring from when I was in middle school, so can't really answer the question. Anyway,
right,
next caller. Next caller.
Our next caller is CoinDog.
AJ, you've got this one. Intro.
Hey, CoinDog, welcome to the Choking Hazard podcast. Spit it out.
He's a natural.
There you go.
Right, so my question is probably most relevant to Brough, but you might all have an answer to it. So last week, me and Actual Panda were playing Euro Truck Simulator online, and there was maybe, 2,000 people on the server, something like that. And we're delivering to some random place in the middle of Poland, and there was 10 people near us. It's got a localized chat system. And then just out of nowhere, while I'm parking my truck up, some random guy goes, "Are you CoinDog from Broughy stream?" And I was like, this is a bit weird, bumping into someone here. And we got talking, and it was just a random guy that lurks in Broughy streams. He doesn't talk in the chat or anything. He's just someone that watches sometimes. And I found it quite weird to be recognised in a random place like that. And I just wondered, have you ever been recognised anywhere in real life or online? And if so, can you tell us about it?
I'll let you guys, because I think you guys may be in a similar situation to CoinDog, if you've been recognised from being in my streams or something, and then obviously Nos, you stream more lately as well. So
lately it's been a while now.
Yeah, I suppose, but
But yeah, I've been recognized a couple times from you in game, in GTA. But I think it was the span of 3 days. I got recognized 6 times playing Rocket League over the course of 6 games after I played the Summit for that period of time.
Yeah.
It's are you the real Sugar-Free Nos from Summit stream? Yeah. So it's dude, you're a god driver, dude. Wow. So.
Good job they didn't see you in the MCC.
Yeah, well, this is when I was racing with really bad Summit, when Summit was very bad at the game. So, yeah, I was a god then.
Yeah.
Like I
doing the
said, if you're in a
mid-drives.
room full of stupid people and you're of average intelligence, you seem like a pretty smart guy. It's similar with driving. If you're driving with a bunch of people who drink paint, you know, on a regular basis when it comes to their driving, you seem like a god-tier driver.
Yeah.
But yeah, from both Summit and you, I've been recognized quite a bit. Actually, it's fun. It's fun. Makes me feel good. So.
Well, first off, I want to apologize to CoinDog for messaging him in the Euro Truck Simulator. That was my bad. I'm just kidding. No, but actually, I have been recognized. Well, I get recognized for quite a few things. Either like in comment sections, is this, you know, like of videos, people usually ask, "Is this A2DaJ?" And then,
is this the same A2DaJ that set his house on fire with candles? You know, that kind of thing.
I get that every once in a while, and then because of the creator thing, I get hit up on Xbox a lot. You know, like with random invites and like, oh, your maps or whatnot. So it is kind of weird, right? Because I'm just a normal person. I don't know.
Well, you're in a leadership position of an online community, so with the content creator thing. So I mean, that kind of comes with the territory.
Shout out to the guy who messaged Coin as well. If you
whoever you are.
He's probably not interested enough to be watching this content, but
yeah, he's probably not even here now.
Yeah.
But...
Okay. How about you, RDT?
Just like last week or something, somebody could have been a bot, but I doubt it was a bot. It makes no sense. Too articulate to be a bot. Sent me a message on Xbox saying like, "Are you RDT from Choking Hazard podcast?" So I didn't respond. I didn't want to.
You're so mean.
Yeah.
Just like when I sent
fans.
you dudes, you never
He didn't even respond to a fan. That's shocking.
Not shocking, really.
I would
the
respond.
response to me.
It's like, yes.
I guess I've been recognized a few times, but in real life, that's when it happens. That's when it's the most strange. Have you
ever been recognized like in real life when you're not at a con or something where people are coming explicitly for you? Okay, and not at the track either.
The first two times were at the track, but there was one time in particular just after that where I'd walked out of my house. This is in Hartlepool, where I my previous house when I used to live with my parents. So it was over a year ago now. I just walked out of the house, got in my car, and someone comes over, crosses the road. He was walking his dog off the other side of the road.
Okay, he had the dog. That was the cover. I thought he stalked you and doxed you.
He just says, he just says, "Are you Broughy?" And I was like, yeah.
You're like, get the hell away from me.
I was kind of stunned, and he just said, I really enjoy your videos, and he shook my hand, and I said thanks, and I was like, what just happened? He just carried on with his walk.
See, that's how you do it. If you're ever wondering how to interact with someone like that makes content like in real life, that's how you do it. You don't like sit there and like talk to them for a ton of time. You don't try to take their picture. Just, hey, love your content. Bye. That's all you got to do, and it means the world.
I usually start by dry humping their leg, but that's neat.
As long as you mention who you are first.
A2DaJ.
If anybody ever sees me, I often wonder how. Myself and Sexy got recognized a while ago as well, but the guys didn't come over and say anything. Like they told us afterwards. But if anyone ever sees me anywhere, you're welcome to come and talk to me.
That's a dangerous road to go down, my friend. I don't know if I'd go down that road. Just anytime, anywhere. Ooh.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if we're out somewhere and you see me. I'm not saying come to my house or anything.
No, you don't want to do that.
But yeah,
if I ever see Nas, I'll tackle him and tickle him to death.
Please don't.
I'm open to hugs and photos and all this kind of stuff. It is better when I'm at
Actually, that reminds me of when you met with Blue-Eyed Malice, Calavera, and Lieutenant Banter in real life.
Yes, I did. We went racing at the track.
You guys went racing, and they told me that you asked, "Do you want to get a picture?" And they were like, No. Why?
Well,
Because-
it was Zexy who said. Zexy said to
thought-
me, ask them if you want to get a picture. Like, do you want to ask them if you want to get a picture? And I was thinking, I'm not sure about this. I don't know whether they're the picture type, but I asked anyway, and then just like
because they
Just shot
thought, they
down.
told me they thought like, this guy thinks he's better. He thinks he's all famous. He's
know.
like, oh, you want to get a picture?
I know, and I knew that it was going to come off like that as well. And like since that was the first time that had ever happened, and I never again am ever going to say anything like that. If someone wants a picture, then fair enough, they can ask, but never again. Like, am I going to say something? It's like,
Your picture
It
is
was-
$5.
it felt embarrassing at the moment when I was saying it as well, and well, I'm just some guy. I don't know how to handle people when I meet up with people who I've never met. Like, I don't know.
handle them at all. I don't want to see any of you people in my real life. If you see me, don't come up to me. I don't want to talk to you. Stay away.
What if they're cute girls, Nos?
I'm an
What if they're cute
awkward
girls?
nerd.
If
Right.
you were I couldn't handle that kind of stress. Like, no. Look, the only way I'm able to do anything in real life is keeping what I do here completely separate. So, if someone in real life knows what I do here, it could become a problem. So, no, just don't. I'm
Do you remember,
if you see me, you
Adam?
can come up to me, but like, it's gonna be super awkward. Brace yourself. Like, put on a hazmat suit and start to cringe before you even walk up, because it's gonna be pretty bad.
Do you remember Adam when I first met you?
So, I don't.
Sloppy.
When
I
was
don't
it?
remember that, but I remember the kiss.
At Insomnia 57, Insomnia, for those that don't know, the NEC where Insomnia is held is essentially just bolted onto the airport. So I was flying down there. I flew down there, walked across to the NEC, got my phone out, looked at my phone. There's a tweet from Xerxes saying, "Oh, we're at I-57," and then a picture of a purple screen. I was like, "Oh," and I looked up and I saw the same purple screen. I was like, "Oh, that tweet was posted like 2 minutes ago." I walked over and there they are all sitting there. So I decided, right,
Yeah.
I'm going to sneak into the row behind them, and I tapped Xerxes on the shoulder. I'm like, "Is this where the scumbags sit?" Like that, and she was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
yeah, I remember that now. It was like it was a bit creepy at the time. The first thing we just sat watching something. Oh man, yeah, I do remember that.
I think now that you reminded me, I remember that too.
Super
I remember
creepy.
hearing about that.
Yeah.
Super creepy.
Oh, good stuff. Good question.
Anyway,
We had some
yeah,
good questions.
Good questions today. When we get real, the questions get real too.
This has been an excellent podcast. Way more professional than it.
I
Yeah.
agree.
It was
All right, let's get some more questions in
Go
here.
F yourself, RTDT.
Who's our next question?
So we've got a question from Dun1962.
Hello, caller. You're on the Choking Hazard podcast. Who's your question for, and what is your question?
Hi guys,
First time caller, long time listener. Come on.
hi guys. I think the question's for everybody. As a sort of older gamer, I will say.
Come on, you can do it.
You can spit it out. Come on.
We're almost there.
You
Oh,
I got
know-
a
yeah,
question for you. What's heavier, a kilogram of steel or a kilogram of feathers? All right,
Okay,
done. What is it?
On a really bad internet here.
I know it's the internet.
So Dun's question
Okay.
was,
Come on, Dunn.
Here comes the
Give him a
professionalism.
chance. Give him a chance.
all right, okay.
Jesus.
Give him a
You
chance.
got it. You've got it. Don't choke. It's for we're the ones that's supposed to be choking, not you. So what's the question?
What I really wanted to know from you guys is, in order to keep your driving skills up, how often do you actually play? How many hours a day would you say you actually practice on your driving?
That was it.
All that builds
This
up.
is a
I thought it
bombshell.
would be something hilarious or something, but it's a real question. I'll answer first. I don't play this game regularly anymore, so that's the thing. Sorry about that. I play the game regularly. I play on Monday and Tuesdays, and that is it. I've been practicing a little bit for MCEC, but that's about it.
Yeah, I might do like 5 to 10 laps of the track in the car, and that's about it.
I'm with.
Yeah,
Nas,
I
man.
would say that.
barely play.
Yeah,
sorry.
I think you is 5 to 10 laps just consistently, like every day. Say you're practicing for an event or something, or you want to improve your driving on a specific track. Just do 5 to 10 laps on that track every day. It doesn't take too much time.
Nah, like two days tops.
2 days before the event.
No, not even just before the event. Like,
And I'm
Just
on,
like
off
on
on
As a
Monday.
little aside to the question, can I say that listening to the answer on both Twitch and through Discord is really confusing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why
So
you mute Twitch. If you know,
Yeah.
That's why you
Yeah.
mute Twitch when you come in here. Anyway,
What I might say, like I barely play GTA anymore. The gameplay loop just isn't there for me. I'm
Yeah.
hopelessly addicted to Warframe right now, and so I play that about a couple hours every night. But as far as GTA and racing, maybe twice a week.
Yeah, I think GTA is becoming the game that everyone can pick up and play at a certain point if everyone decides to do it for something special or just because they want to just have a bit of fun. But it's no longer the game that you can be playing every single day and still find fun and fresh and exciting things to do that don't make you want to blow your brains out with boredom or just you're doing it to make money. Like.
Okay, guys, thanks
Thanks for the question.
thanks for the question, Dun. Thank you. All right, I believe we have one more caller.
We do. Last question is from C. Balbuena.
Hello, caller on the Choking Hazard podcast. Welcome back to the show, Seaball. Who's your question for, and what is your question?
This question goes.
He's not server muted. He's just muted, apparently.
No, I can hear him.
Oh, we can hear him. We're good.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, we
You
can.
probably muted him on your end. Anyway, Seaball, ask your question.
This question goes to the four of y'all. I'm gonna say, what is your dream car? If y'all had like enough money, then what is gonna be your dream car to buy? Like, for example, an exotic car or a sports car or whatever.
In real life?
In real life.
Okay.
That's a pretty basic question. I'm surprised we haven't had that one before, actually.
Yeah. Dream car in real life if we had unlimited amount of money.
I've
Probably
got
like a
answers.
69 Mustang.
I've got answers for different
I've got an
tiers.
answer. I've got an answer too.
Okay, come on. What is that your answer, ADT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
69 Mustang is pretty good.
That's a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
I actually drive right now. My dream drive a Lexus GS 400. I like big sedans, like so. That's really mine. But I'm
Oh,
not a
then
picky.
you-
I'm not a car guy, really. But
Yeah.
I like it. I love it. So I couldn't say like I would get a Porsche or anything like that. They have no cup holders.
No, the LFA is the one that does have cup holders. I'm pretty sure Porsches have cup holders.
Yeah, I don't know. They're expensive. I'm a cheap bastard too. So
I don't know. I'll give you different tiers. Like the entry level tier of, I found 30 grand on the side of the road. Maybe get like a V8 Fox Body Mustang. Maybe I'd love to have one of those. Those would be fun. Like for the reasonable level, like I might actually be able to obtain one day. Right above that, I'd probably get like a like whatever the highest model of Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution they have from their last year that they made them. Unfortunately, they don't make them anymore, which is very sad. Being a Lancer fan and not a Subi fan. Above that, I don't know. Maybe like a Challenger, maybe like a 70s Challenger, and then above that, like high end, probably a Hellcat Charger. I really like the Hellcat Charger.
I wouldn't mind like an old Chevy truck or something.
Yeah,
Like
there's
a
some trucks out
58.
there too. The like the Ford SVT Raptor would be really super cool. Because like I mean, if I get a truck, I'm not pulling anything. I want to go over things at 100 miles an hour. So that's
One
Well,
of
for me-
one of the previous guests on the podcast is actually looking at a Dodge Challenger Hellcat at the moment.
oh really?
Who?
Sarge.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would imagine. Sorry.
Wait, he's not American. How would
No,
that
he's
work
not.
over there?
There's one for sale. There's one for sale in the UK.
One.
Aren't your streets the size of an alleyway in America? How would you even drive the thing?
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work.
It's probably
could just-
him
I
and
could-
Richard Hammond trying to buy that
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, those are the only
Yeah,
two.
When I did
that's
the
it.
F-150. Oh, jeez.
All right, so I have a few cars that I would want, but if I had unlimited funds just to buy any car, I would probably. I mean, it's difficult because I know people in the chat were saying an Ariel Atom V8. I do like that car, and that's the car that I would get
You
if
can't
I had the
drive
money
that
for
daily,
it.
though. You can't.
But no, I
like-
wouldn't be able to drive it. That would be like a plaything to take to a track or something. But if I have unlimited funds, like that's a reasonable amount of money to pay for a plaything that you can take to a track. If I had unlimited funds, my plaything to take to a track would be like one of these old Formula One cars that you can buy, and you know.
Oh wow!
Like, I would want one of those.
I would die if I got
I'm not
behind the
holding
wheel
back.
of one of those.
But if it's coming to like hypercar, I would want either a LaFerrari or a P1, one of those two. I don't know which one, but I would want one of them.
I couldn't bring myself to get one of those. They're just too ridiculous. for me. That would make me feel ridiculous. Well, howdy, y'all! From the window of my V1, it just wouldn't work. So, I gotta tone it down.
I would like a Skyline that is like, a Skyline's a classic.
Old, like an R34.
R34 Skyline, yeah. But my daily driver, I think, would probably be like a GTR, maybe. I quite like GTRs.
Nah, going with the big head strategy.
Yeah.
Summit hit the big time, and he went with the same strategy. I think he likes it.
Yeah, but I think the one car that I would want more than any other is probably an Aston Martin DB5. I would adore having one of those, and I would contact Aston Martin because they have done this before and get them to retrofit it with all the James Bond stuff. You can get like the roof that pops open and guns that come out. Obviously they don't shoot anything, but I would want stuff like that inside, and the actual dial from inside that flips up, and the button on the gear stick and things like that. If I had unlimited funds.
Well, you may be able to talk to next week's guest about that.
Yes.
Why?
Segue right into next week.
So next week's guest.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no, let's not spoil it. Let's leave it till next week.
Need to build hype.
Yeah. That's what I would like. On another note, talking of the DB5, how is the JB700 in GTA not weaponized yet?
I have no idea.
It
seems ridiculous.
That car, let me tell you though, that car is beautiful without those stupid guns on it. Because we have that in 5M, and it looks so nice. It's so nice. It's beautiful. It really is a very good looking car.
All right, I think we're done. Good question. We've had some good questions. We've had some real good. We've opened up in the podcast, and it's led to some good questions. It's been a long one.
Yeah, we got
very long one.
Yeah, we got very
feel
real.
We got very real, very quick. And
So,
yeah, we did.
So I'm
to
a
the J's
sexual
fault.
offender. RDT, I don't know. RDT didn't really open up. A2DaJ is A2DaJ, and Broughy is very boring. So we've learned a lot about each other today, which is very good.
Yeah, this is the last podcast we'll ever have.
It doesn't get much better.
AJ, thank you for coming on finally after all this time.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. It's been a lot of fun having you.
Thanks for having me, man.
You got
This
any
is awesome.
social media you want to promote?
I mean, people can follow me on Twitter. It's a mess. I don't know what my timeline looks like. It's just I retweet all kinds of dumb stuff. But if you want to, you can. And follow GTA Man.
No.
No, you don't get to promote him. You don't get to.
Well, that's where my
promote
video
GTA.
series is at.
I don't
What?
care.
You can put it. You can point him
Okay.
towards that video series, but the guy who look, he's just a means to an end for your video because he has a
Sorry?
bigger platform than you.
He's a great guy. Great guy.
We all
So is
agree
Broughy.
he's a great guy. Well, he's had his time on the podcast. He's gotten his
Okay.
promotion.
Look, I'm better than him at Max Payne 3 multiplayer, so he's
You
really
are.
kind of bad. So
Yeah, that happened.
AJ, thanks for being on, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
We shall be back next week, as always, with more podcast.
No, not
goodness.
as always. Not as
Oh,
always.
no, not as always. Next Thursday, sorry. This won't matter to people who will watch on YouTube, but those who are watching live, it's next Thursday. Not Friday. And we had a $100 donation from Cuff 12 minutes ago. So that was ridiculous.
Well, what does he say? We can read that out on the show.
He said happy birthday.
Oh, God.
Of course.
You couldn't have said, like, oh, this is going towards your DB5 or something. Come on, Cuff.
Well, it was.
You got to donate another 100 now.
You've
Come
all
on.
shared so much. It's been a really touching podcast. No, just your dumb happy birthday.
So thank you, Cuff. Well, I always go through the donations and things after the podcast is finished, but I felt like I needed to mention that one.
Yeah, GG, Cuff. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, guys.
See you later, everybody. Bye.